is Marie Bennett, and today I'm going to show you some cards made using this stamp set, Pictogram Punches. I love this stamp set because it's very versatile. You can use it for maybe 4th of July, St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day. You could just make a bouquet of mixed flowers and stars. You can just use it in a variety of ways and with any color you want to use it with. Today I'm going to show you, the first card I'm going to show you is a Valentine's Day card, and it's used it's made using Bermuda Bay cardstock. This layer is from the designer series paper that's free in celebrations with a $50 purchase, and it's called Best Year Ever. And I also use some of the new Bermuda Bay sequins. I don't know if it shows up very well, but it's beautiful blue. I love that color blue. And then Melon Mambo ink. No, I take that back. That's Strawberry Slush. And I think this is a really cute little Valentine's Day card. On the inside, I stamped it Be My Valentine with a stamp I have in my stash. And so I'm just going to show you this card. I'm not going to demonstrate it. It's embellished with little rhinestones if you want to embellish it. But as I show you the other cards, then you'll be able to figure out how to make this card if you should choose to. Okay, the next card I'm going to show you is this card using the designer series paper that also is free in celebrations this year. It's called Irresistibly Yours. This is wonderful paper, and I'm going to demonstrate how I got this look of the green with the little shower of flowers in there. And I used this stamp, Lucky You, from the stamp set and many more. And then on the inside I stamped Happy St. Patrick's Day from the stamp set Teeny Tiny Wishes. But Lucky You doesn't have to be for St. Patrick's Day, so you could just let your imagination go, and maybe you want to be congratulating somebody or something like that, and just using the green theme of Lucky You as a way of doing that. The next card I would like to show you is one also using that same designer series paper, Irresistibly Yours, the one with the star print in it. And then I stamped it with a stamp that says You're a Star, which is part of the Pictogram Punches stamp set. And on the inside I used the word Celebrate, which comes in the And Many More stamp set. And then just some of these little stars from the Pictogram Punches. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, in order to make this card, you will need a piece of, this is garden green cardstock, and it's cut at the standard 5.5 by 8.5, and scored down the middle and folded. And then on the inside of the card, I will tape, using the snail adhesive, tape a layer of white cardstock for writing on. And I may or may not stamp the inside of this card. I think I'll wait and stamp it later when I have a definite purpose for the card. Okay, so this layer of this card is made using the Irresistibly Yours designer series paper, and you can see that it's white on white and it has that flower design in there. And the way we get it to be green is just take a sponge dauber. I just use a little sponge dauber like this, and my garden green stamp pad, and I just ink up the dauber And really you can just develop your own style of making the pattern show up, but I like to do it kind of in circles like this. I just daub that on there, and I make some places darker just to give it some interest and a little bit of dimension. Oops, sorry, hit the camera. I want this corner down here darker too. And you're going to use this exact same technique on the one with the stars background, using the Night of Navy. Okay, so now I have my paper inked up, and the next thing I need to do is take a Kleenex and rub as much of the ink off of this floral pattern as I can get. So I have my Kleenex here, and I'm just going to rub it and get the ink off of the white, as much of it as I can get off. It doesn't all come off, but you can see that it does clean it up pretty good. Okay, so now I have background for my card done, and it's going to go right here, just like that. The next step is to create this layer, and for that I'll need that flower vase stamp and then the shamrock stamps. Okay, so the bottom layer, this garden green layer, measures 2 1/4 inches by 3 inches. So first thing I'm going to do is cut, get my scoring blade out of the way, 2 1/4 by 3. And as long as I have my trimmer out, I'm going to do the same thing with the Night of Navy, because the cards are identical except for the design. So I'm going to cut it at 2 1/4 by 3. Okay, so that card's ready. And then the next layer, this white layer, is 1/4 inch smaller in both directions. So it's going to be 2 by 2 3/4. So I'm going to cut 2 by 2 3/4. Maybe. Okay, and then you can see that that's going to layer on there really good. So I'll cut a piece for the blue, 2 by 2 3/4. Sorry. There's 2. Alright, now my pieces are cut for the blue card, and that frame is all ready to be stamped. Okay, now looking at this image, you can see that the vase is a lighter color than the shamrocks. So I'm going to use garden green on the shamrocks and pear pizzazz on this vase. And that kind of draws attention to some of the lighter shades of green that are in the background color and some of the darker. So I'll get started with that. So I have my pear pizzazz stamp pad and the vase stamp, so I ink it up really good, kind of stamp off to make sure I have an image, and then I want to center this fairly close to the bottom, like that. Alright, close this up. One of my best tricks, if I've got 2 stamp pads open, I always stamp on the wrong one. So I try to only have one open at a time. Alright, garden green. Well, on this card I made I made 2 images of the solid green and 1 of the polka dot. So I'm going to do the polka dot one first in the middle. And with this image, I just eyeball it, trying to get the flower right where it goes. So let's see here. I know that the flower is going to be down a little from the stem, so that's pretty close. And it's not like we're running these off on a printer, so it's okay if they're not perfect. Okay, so this one I'm going to put right about here. And this one right about here. Okay. So there's my image. I'll close up my stamp pad. The next thing I need to do is adhere the image to the background using snail. All right, and then on the original card, I popped it up using dimensionals, popped this piece up from the main card, and so I'm going to do that now. And I'm not going to stamp Lucky You here. So later when I have an actual use for this card, then I'll go back and stamp whatever I want. It might say congratulations or best of luck, or it could say anything, but I'm not going to put the Lucky You on there right now. So I put 4 dimensionals on the back of this image, and I'm just going to kind of center it up here in the corner like that. And now this card is ready for future use. So I hope you give this a try, and I hope you enjoy the card when you've got it done. For this next card, we're going to use the paper out of the Irresistibly Yours Designer Series pack that has the tone-on-tone star design. And we're going to use Night of Navy ink and Real Red ink. And so you'll need 2 daubers for this card. I'm going to start with the Night of Navy, and I'm just going to color in a little square at the top as though this were the American flag. About like that. And then I'm going to use my Kleenex and wipe off the excess ink as much as I can get off. And there I have it, the corner of my flag. I'm going to close up my Night of Navy so I don't stick my Night of Navy sponge, which I'm putting away too, in my red ink. That would make me have purple ink. I don't want purple ink. I have another stamp pad that is purple. Alright, so I get plenty of red on there. And now I'm just going to color stripes. Let's see if I can wipe that off. I love this paper. Very versatile. Okay, these stripes don't have to be perfect because it's not a real flag. Okay, then I take my Kleenex, try to clean up those stars. All right. So now the background of the card is ready to be applied to the front of the card, which is cut out of Night of Navy cardstock in a standard card size, 5.5 by 8.5. I've already put the center white liner in there, and this card goes this direction. So I'm going to stick this on with snail adhesive. I'm being slow today for some reason. Okay, now I've already made the little image that's going to go right here, and when I put it on, I want to, I know I'm going to have some kind of a sentiment over here. I'm not going to put it on today. I think this might wind up being a birthday card for a friend of mine that has a birthday on the 4th of July. So I'm going to stick this image on here in a way that will allow the stars part to show, but still leave me room to put a greeting when I'm ready to finish the card. Alright, so there I have it. I made this image exactly the same way I made this one, just in different colors and using the stars instead of the shamrocks. So I hope you'll give these cards a try, and I hope you'll use your imagination, come up with lots of ideas on your own how you can use this Pictogram Punches stamp set. Good luck and happy stamping!